Mr. Speaker, sir, thank you for providing me this space to join hands with the mover of this very important motion and other honorable members who have participated in this discussion of this special motion. Mr. Speaker, sir, the special motion that has been moved by honorable member from Amlarem by Lakman Rembui. The motion is that this House do now discuss the gravity of unemployment scenario in the state and the way to tackle it. It's a very constructive motion which requires collective resolve of each one of us, not just the policymakers, but also the rest of the stakeholders, keeping in mind the complexity that is associated with this problem of unemployment, the very understanding about the concept of employment and the associated challenges inherent to this problem. Mr. Speaker, sir, as we were listening to the submissions made by honorable members preceding my participation, we could well appreciate their concern. The concern is not just pertaining to the problem of unemployment and the gravity of this problem associated with, but also the issue of not being able to take care of the aspirations of those who are already employed, which do not commensurate to their qualification. We refer to them as underemployment. So while we talk about the problem of unemployment, we also have a serious problem of underemployment. People who are employed but are not employed in such posts which commensurate to their qualification, and those who are unemployed. Now, Mr. Speaker, sir, I think we are privy to this problem as we start our innings in each day of our life. We are confronted by this issue which are brought before us by all our...
Please sit down. In exercise of Rule 11 of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business, I will extend the House till this special motion is disposed of today. You may please continue, Dr. Mukul Sangma.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Today is a private members' day allocated out of the limited days available for the... So I don't know, after disposal of this special motion, whether we should be allowed to at least take up one more motions, keeping in mind. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, I was referring to the problem which is pertinent and which is serious. Now, we all know that the space available for the aspirants in white-collar jobs are very, very limited. But the largest sector in the other colored jobs, I think we have been trying to explore the possibility of encouraging our youth and the job aspirants towards that effect that they look beyond the white-collar jobs. And this is what has been happening, and we have been to a great extent successful in different sectors where the strength and potentiality of the state lies. But here, the problem is again we who are in the helm of affairs of governance. Now, it is a reality that it is very difficult for us to really encourage our youth to look for jobs outside the white-collar jobs. It is a reality. We have probably collectively over the years made a collective endeavor to at least convince our youth to look beyond the white-collar jobs. But what has happened? People who have ventured out to look beyond have come back frustrated and as, failures. Now, the case in instance is let us look at even the simple opportunity of self-employment, which is provided by different line departments, say, for example, PWD, PHE, water resources, and other departments. Gone are those days when you could see hundreds of contractors registering themselves and getting opportunity of being self-employed by being part of the whole implementation process of different developmental programs. After 2018, what has happened? There's a drastic change. The space which were otherwise available for the small contractors have been slowly subsumed with bigger and bigger packages of work. Today, you don't have works. If you look at in every tender of every department, we were able to witness that the projects which are being implemented, even if they are in different locations, they are subsumed into one big package so that the rest do not get qualified. There is an eligibility criteria, financial credentials. What about the small timers? What about those young boys and girls who would like to look at this space as their startups? We have failed them for reason best known to the government, or rather for reasons best known to the people in authority. Every work in PWD is clubbed into such a huge group where our petty contractors, budding contractors will not be eligible at all. Predetermined, malafide intention. That's what probably the president of the Pradesh Congress Committee must have been referring to. Manipulation of contract works. This needs to be looked into if we want to resolve these problems. This is a space available for many of our mothers, many of our widows. Mr. Speaker, sir, you yourself have been witness to how many mothers in Tura were benefited out of this space available to our mothers. Today, you do not see mothers visiting the office of the executive engineers, nor of the superintending engineers, nor of the additional chief engineers in Tura. This is the reality. Please correct it for the best interests of the state. It is very difficult otherwise to really convince our youth to look at spaces outside the white-collar job. Today, if you're looking at other initiatives, I remember how to create an opportunity and to ensure the participation of the rural population. We embark upon a number of initiatives, multiple initiatives which I don't want to name, to generate that kind of space. Today, the largest job provider is the area where we have the blue-collar jobs. Even, for example, the MG NREGs, we have the material component. Material component, in order to ensure that we also take advantage of this material component, we have encouraged farmers, rather the VCs, to take projects which will include plantations. Now, all these planting materials are coming from outside, from Assam. We had supported many of our farmers over the years across the state by the Department of Agriculture and Horticulture, providing 5 lakhs rupees per prospective entrepreneurs who would like to raise nurseries, 25 lakhs for larger sectors. So why were those initiatives done? And we also encouraged self-help groups. We also funded them. And various interventions have supported them to raise nurseries all across the state. Today, anywhere we go and see, we will see nurseries, outcome of this endeavor, collective endeavor. But when the supply happens, all the planting materials are coming from Assam, indirectly robbing our people from the opportunity of being part of this whole great story of development, and thereby getting a space of employment, self-employment, entrepreneurship. Sir, therefore, if we are honest to tackle this problem, let us be honest and be really open-hearted and come together and find a solution. Just debate in this house is only just to wake us up. I could see how passionately our honorable member for Maukurwat was articulating. It is because this is a problem which is really, really pertinent to our state. I see mothers coming and telling, Sir, can you help us to get a job for my daughter, the only daughter who is working in Delhi? I want to bring her back. I'm getting old. We have a system. The daughters and children must be near the parents. This is what we refer to as blessings. Because God promised that He'll bring our daughters from far, the children from far, so that they are around the parents. That is what blessings are. Today, we are compelling our children to go outside the boundaries of the state, and many of them are not coming back. It's painful to see mothers at their last days of life, even when they need to see their children, they are not being able to see their children. And some of the children can't even come and be part, or rather be there during the funeral. This is the reality. Mr. Speaker, sir, another important initiative which I would like to share is the career counseling and coaching centers which we embarked upon. There was a purpose. The whole career path, which have to be updated from time to time based on the job spaces available across the country, across the globe, outside the government jobs, including the government jobs. Government jobs, when we talk about the jobs other than the jobs which are provided by the departments within the state government, by the union central governments, number of line ministries in government of India do provide that space of job. Many of these jobs, when vacancies, for filling up the vacancies, the advertisements are made, our people don't have the access to those information because of many reasons. Today, the circulation of print media is no longer in the rural area, no longer across the state, unlike in the past, because of so-called online news channel and all. So, therefore, there's a serious need to re-establish ourselves, position ourselves in such a way that we provide information for our youth in every corner of the state. That was the precious intention and sincere intention of that initiative. We created a career path available across different line ministries. And what is the course of studies that our youth must take for being able to compete for those spaces of job available? And also, what's the kind of coaching that they must be provided? We had a number of youth who were given this coaching in Delhi and even in the district capitals, including Shillong. Revive it. Because then they will see the avenues of diverse fields of opportunities in respect of getting jobs, both within the government and outside. Mr. Speaker, sir, now there's a huge frustration which is very visible and palpable for all of us. It's a matter of concern. There is a frustration. Allow this frustration to linger on. This will ultimately become anger. And you know what happens when frustration and anger rule the mindset of the youth. Therefore, we have to understand the magnitude of the problem. I would like to also look at the insensitivity with which we are dealing with the job aspirants. Now, there was a job which was advertised recently. Some friends sent me this. This is for the post of Research Associate, qualifications PhD in education, and salary, remuneration, not even salary because it's not a permanent job. Remuneration, 12,000 per month. And the work description is data collection, data analysis, drafting reports, coordination with field personnel. That means the employee has to move around. 12,000 rupees for a PhD. We are asking our youth to apply for this job. And another one is graduate passed with 50% marks from a recognized university, etc., etc. Salary, 800 per month. Now look at the reaction of the youth. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, the irony is that somebody sent me a message when this was being shared with me. He said, the irony is that we are talking about the problem of unemployment amongst our youth, but go to the secretariat, you will see so many footfalls. We don't have any, envy against others from other, meaning people coming from other states. But Secretariat is full of other people who are employed by many of the so-called consultants, innumerable consultants. You look at MECL and different departments, different line departments, consultants after consultants, consultants after consultants, consultants after consultants, and how much money is going? Whether tourism, very nicely crafted entity has been created, which is being used as instrument to really rob our people from the opportunity of employment directly and indirectly. Mr. Speaker, sir, therefore correction is needed. Then another part is the question of integrity in the whole process of recruitment. I remember when we had the opportunity of discussing as to how to go about for the transparent recruitment policy for the recruitment of police. We made it a point that even though we try to please others by supporting, how does it help us? How many will get job? And how many will be those who do not get job? Whom are we going to please by manipulating the process of recruitment? Let us be fair, therefore we adopted the policy of transparent recruitment system, Mr. Speaker, in police. In police. Therefore, when the aspirant comes and tells us, sir, can we be helped? We say, transparent recruitment system is there. You run, you have a speedometer in your ankle, and as you run, you will know the marks, that's what is the total marks that you have secured as a job aspirant. He is aware of the marks. So nobody can manipulate. There is a trust in the system. There's an integrity to the system. But today, the integrity of the recruitment system is under question. We need to restore it. Why I'm saying this? Look at the result of this MPSC, who came up with another result with additional list of candidates who are called successful based on the review by somebody called, who is referred as an expert, which was an offshoot of an exercise by the MPSC after having received the representation from a candidate with regard to the questions appearing in the Meghalaya Civil Services Preliminary Examination 2022-23, held on the 4th of November 2023. Mr. Speaker, sir, I think enough reaction were circulated in the social media, reflecting the concern about people's, the concern about the integrity that we have in the whole process of recruitment in an institution which is a constitutional body, an institution mandated by the provision of the Constitution, so that the whole populace in the country and the states shall have the trust in the whole system. Now this trust is being challenged, and the integrity of the whole process of recruitment is under question. I urge the government through you, Mr. Speaker, sir, to correct it. This is a very wrong precedence, and these precedents can be further manipulated in the years to come, thereby really creating a situation where people will have no more trust in the whole process of recruitment. Similar thing, the matter was brought to me. Some people came and asked me the suggestion to go as to how to go about to deal with the result which was declared by the District Selection Committee of East Garhwils recently, where in the instant case, there were 4 members from one family. 4 members from one family who have passed, who have made it good in the exam. Mr. Speaker, sir, we all know if people doubt the integrity, then they also doubt our integrity, the integrity of the whole political class. It is not just confined to the District Selection Committee. It doubts the whole system, the trust in the system, which is mandated in the Constitution. It is dangerous, Mr. Speaker, sir. Therefore, I don't think I need to dwell on many other aspects of this issue. But look at the government's insensitivity towards filling up the post of vacancies in various line departments. Various line departments. Whether it is in health and family welfare, whether it is in education department, whether it is in PWD, whether it is in police department. We created number of IRBN, Indian Reserve Police Battalion. We created the SF-10 battalion. The size of the SF-10 battalion has shrunk slowly, slowly, slowly. For whose good? For whose good? Just because we want to minimize the spaces and shrink the spaces of job for the youth. I have every reason to question the intent of the government. Why is the government of the day trying to keep in abeyance the recruitment process to fill up all the vacancies, which is already, I'm talking about the vacancies of the sanctioned posts. I visited Ampati recently. One of my classmates was there. He said, Dr. Mukul, I have retired. I also was reminded, okay, we are in the retirement age now. So then another guy was there, who was my junior. He also said, sir, I have also retired, 1 year junior. So that means I should have retired last year as if I were still a government medical and health officer. Then they were teaching in Ampati Higher Secondary School. So I was tempted to ask, keeping in mind the importance of filling up the vacancies in case of schools and colleges. Otherwise, limited number of teachers, if they have retired and we don't fill up, who is going to take these crucial classes? They said, yes, sir, they have advertised. I'm trying to bring it to the notice of the Minister in charge of education as well. The advertisement is to fill up this vacancy with a fixed pay of 30,000. Why? Why? Against a sanctioned post. It's illegal. It's illegal. If we go by the judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court pertaining to its judgment and pronouncement of number of judgments against any sanctioned post, even for that matter, our attempt to give that 59 days against a sanctioned post itself is with a mala fide intention to not to fill up with a regular post. That has been the observation of the Honorable Supreme Court. Therefore, are we not here to do justice? Do we have to be pulled up by the judiciary system to do justice? I think people should look up to us to get justice. Now, why should I get 30,000 if I'm also teaching in the same school against the sanctioned post? It is a deprivation. It is robbery, a legal robbery, by manipulating the system. So also, filling up the vacancies, which has been eloquently elaborated and articulated by other members. These are deprivation, which are intentional, because in spite of so many attempts to really sensitize the government, it has always been falling on deaf ears. It has been always like a futile attempt by all of us. Sometimes I feel whether should I speak or should I not? Should I speak or should I not? Mr. Speaker, sir, look at number of initiatives. I was just talking to my friend who was with me in the cabinet. We embarked upon a number of livelihood initiatives. One of them was this dairy farming. 5,000 farmers in Milim block itself. 5,000 farmers in every block, in few of the blocks as a first phase. What happened? Why no support? Support is not only to provide fund, also to take care of the vet care. No vet care. I was in Jadi just to attend one of the funerals recently. Then the civil society organizations came and confronted me with their problems. One of them was that huge infrastructure created by the veterinary department there, lying idle and becoming a den for, a space for den of criminals. Invested so much of money from the public exchequer, from the scarce resources, and left unused. Similarly, everywhere across the state we will see, we have the infrastructure, we have the, sometimes we have posted personals, but they don't go because nobody is bothered. How are the farmers going to take care of their cattle? How are the farmers going to take care of their piglets? So many piglets were distributed, so many piglets have died. That's the reality. I am also a farmer. I had to look at some friends who should go out of the way to take care of my livestock. So this is the challenge. And these are the areas where we have, these collateral spaces of employment created, generated. Let us be clear that these spaces available in the blue-collar job is the highest in the world. And therefore, this sector must be taken care of. And unless this sector, apiculture, aquaculture, so many initiatives, only the names have been changed, doesn't matter, carry it on. So much of fun is available. I have always spoken about the low-hanging fruit, so I think we should take advantage of them. But let us do justice to all our children, to all our beloved young men and women, Mr. Speaker, sir. Whatever we can do, while we are in position, while we are in authority, while we are privileged to serve them, let us be honest to ourselves and let us be honest to them. And there's lots of space. This can be corrected. Hundreds of thousands can be recruited immediately also because there are similar number of jobs already lying vacant which are not filled up by the government. God knows what is happening to the money which is allocated for the salary. If the vacancies are not filled up, the salary component will not be spent. So what happens to that money? Are we not willing to spend that one to give job to those who are hungry for a job, who are waiting eagerly for the job? So, Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like to thank the honorable member from Amlaren who has passionately moved this motion and have appropriately and eloquently articulated this issue. So also other members. We can see the passion coming out of each one of the words that they spoke. It is coming from their heart, Mr. Speaker, sir. It is not for the purpose of playing politics, but I think it is a real problem for all of us. We will all face these problems once we go and face our people again, when we seek their votes. And even before that, we do get confronted by these issues. These issues, I think, have confronted many of the policymakers across the country, across the globe. We are seeing it. Many of the nations have not been able to really navigate the challenges that they were confronted with because they didn't know what to do when, it was beyond their capacity to contain and control and address those problems. So, stitch in time saves nine, Mr. Speaker, sir. With these few words, I would like to, again, draw the attention of the government and earnestly appeal that this issue be taken in right earnest and with utmost sense of sincerity and commitment, address this problem. We will always be available in case if the government desires to discuss and ask for our collective engagement and sharing of thoughts and ideas. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you.